Oh my gosh, 2020. Happy New Year's, everyone! And I celebrated bringing in 2020 by eating ramen on the couch. Hey guys, I hope you are all having a wonderful start to 2020, and I am excited because today's video, if you couldn't already tell by the title, you clicked on this video. We are going to be starting the new year celebrating all of the best of drugstore products for me for 2019. There were some really bomb products this past year, and I am so excited to put them all in my face. And as I do every single year, I will also be doing more Luxe, like Sephora branded products and some of my favorites there. I've been like squirreling them away in a basket for the last I want to say 3 weeks because I wanted to make sure that they were a favorite. If I had to get up and get products out of that bin, that's how you know it's a favorite. So stay tuned for that, as well as the worst products of the year. And I also have a very special video coming up, which will be in a couple of weeks. Very excited. Oh, it's just so much going on. I have a peppermint latte in front of me. I have makeup that I'm excited about. We need to just dive into this. Oh my goodness. I love the start of the new year. Are we zoomed in? Is that good? A little bit. It's a little low. Let's try that again. Honestly, these are my favorite videos to film. I am thrilled right now. So let's start with the eyes, and I want to start with some really, really good eyeshadow palettes that I have been loving in that sort of affordable budget drugstore, however you want to kind of categorize it, category. And there have been two that I have loved and used over and over again and have really just, to me, demonstrated just very good quality and usability for me on an everyday basis. So one is the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. In particular, I mean, you can probably tell as soon as I open this palette, I tend to gear towards this end of the palette. But this, a bunch of these, sometimes even this one, the warm shade down here, spicy, cheeky, these colors for me, on an everyday, just tap, tap, brush it in kind of a look. Love. They blend beautifully on the eyes. I've had just a lot of really good experience with this palette, so I wanted to include that one. And then the other one is the always very, very affordable ColourPop palettes. There have been 4,000 launches this year. I mean, really, who can keep track? But I've been reaching for the Whatever and Sweet Talk palettes the most this past year. They're more, I guess, back half 2019 launches. But again, just those warm kind of buttery shades that I just gravitate towards and are just ones that I know are going to work, I know are going to blend, and are going to look beautiful. And while I put on these eyeshadows, tell me what you guys did for New Year's. Did you do anything? Did you celebrate in some way? Or were you like me and just ate ramen on the couch? I mean, that's really how I celebrate at the end of every single day. I want to watch YouTube videos and just chill. You know, I don't want to get fancy and go out to a party with people I don't know. Chris and I have been absolutely obsessed with ramen. I actually just filmed an updated pregnancy cravings video. If you guys don't know, I have another channel where I do a lot of cooking videos with Chris. So go and check it out if you have not already. I think if you like my sense of humor, you're probably gonna love that channel. And so I just filmed an updated pregnancy cravings video, and one of them, spoiler alert, is ramen. But Chris has been making it in such a, he's been experimenting with different add-ins and different spices, and it's been so good and comforting, and just it speaks to all my pregnancy cravings too. Just if you guys have any ramen recipes or any add-ins that you really like, any spices, any herbs, anything, let me know in the comments because I need to know. So this to me is the perfect everyday kind of look. It's so easy. I'd probably add a little bit under the eyes because I always find that when I put a little bit just right along the lower lash line, kind of smudge it down a bit, I just look more awake. And really that's all I want out of life. I just want to look more awake than I actually am. So we're just gonna smudge a little bit down there. That to me is a good everyday eyeshadow look when you want to put in the effort to put on eyeshadow. But you know what, let's kick it up. I'm gonna throw in some of the shades from the ColourPop palettes. I think I'm gonna take the Whatever palette. I'm gonna take, I think, Copycat right in here. Oh, you can't even see it. There we go. This one. I'm gonna put that just down on the lid. Ooh, should we do an all over, just a matte eye look? Ooh, I haven't done one of those in forever. Yeah, no, I'm feeling that. Let's do that today. Then we'll do glitter for the Sephora makeup look. Or not just Sephora, like high-end, premium looks, you know? I'm mixing in a little bit of Pink Slip, which is more of like a taupey, cool tone brown. More like a yellow undertone, I wanna say. Like a greeny yellow. Does that make sense? I'm gonna plop that all over the lid. Guys, I am so excited for 2019 for just so many reasons. Number one, obviously, with like Bebo on the way. So excited. Feb 2020. Counting down the days. I was like looking on my app the other day and there were like 50 days until your due date, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so soon. I almost dipped my brush into Not Okay, which is this like really pretty bronzy glittery shade, because I gravitate towards it like a raven. Just need glittery things all the time. Let's do a little bit of Pass It On and in Bold. We'll do these two matte shades next. I know they're not very similar, but I kind of want to tone down the terracotta-ness of Pass It On and just kind of make it a little more neutral. Just want to smudge that along the lash line a bit. What kind of videos have you guys been watching in 2019? Or like what kind of videos are you excited to watch in 2020? Do you like makeup stuff? Do you like cooking stuff? Gaming? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. Myself personally, I watch a lot of like cooking related stuff. I watch a lot of, so Bon Appetit is one, which I love. It's like The Office meets Kitchen Chefs in one, and it's awesome. And then I watch a lot of Julian Solomita, who is Jenna Marbles' boyfriend. He does a lot of cooking stuff, and he incorporates a lot of like celiac friendly and vegan friendly options into more like mainstream or really interesting recipes. And I really enjoy his style of cooking too. And plus, like, a couple of my sisters-in-law and my mother-in-law are all celiac, so I've been like trying to find really good recipes that are celiac friendly, and he always has some like really good ingredients to kind of play around with. So I've been loving that. And I know what you're thinking, Rachel, what about makeup videos? Like, you make them, why aren't you watching them? And I think it's because there are so many new product launches, and I love learning about them and getting other people's perspectives on them. And there are a bunch of like beauty YouTubers and influencers that I love watching and I think are so talented. But oftentimes I've like trained myself not to watch those videos, because when I'm doing like a first impression or I'm doing like a full day wear test, which I do a ton of, as you guys know, on this channel, and like show you guys what it looks like by the end of the day, I want to go into it like a fresh perspective, you know? But there are always influencers in the makeup space that I love, and I will watch as long as it's not like a product that I want to review myself. There's just so many. If you have any favorites, let me know in the comments. Plus, I just like supporting other people in this community that I think deserve to be supported, you know, that I feel like create great content and work really hard, and I have, you know, a lot of admiration for, you know? So I like to support other YouTubers, watch their stuff, click on their ads, you know. Oh, I'm really liking this like matte eye thing. I think because it's been so long since I've done a matte eye, I've kind of forgotten how much I like it. Okay, I'm gonna finish this up now. I feel like I've been chatting forever. A whole 8 to 18 minutes. Oh my gosh, I can't put 18 minutes into this video and not even get into the foundation yet. Let's hurry it up, Rachel. All right, we went all out with a smoky eye look today. I think I might like tight line everything in like a dark smoky brown too. I think that'd be really pretty. And one of my favorites from the drugstore is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio in the dark brown in particular. I don't like the black as much, but the dark brown's real good. And this particular one I like because it is very creamy. It stays put really well on the tight line, especially if I let it dry. That's the number one thing that I find with these and tight lining anything, is that if you just immediately start blinking and like, it's just going to start to smudge. But if you give it a second to like dry as much as you possibly can, it does make a big difference in the longevity of the product. I like how I said that and immediately my eyes start watering. Honestly, I really need to learn how to use like a handheld mirror. Like I kind of just wing it with what I can see in this like farther away mirror, and I'm like, that's good enough. And then I look at it in editing, and then editing Rachel is not impressed. Now let's move on to mascara. And if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know I am very particular about my mascaras. I have certain ones that I favor over others, and I always go back to a certain subsection of mascaras, and those are the ones that I like live for. So there are a couple from the drugstore that I do really like. I think they are beautiful and they look gorgeous on the eyes. They deliver what they promise, and I think they're amazing. The ones that I use the most often are the high-end combination, and you'll see why when that video goes live. It's just like, it's another level, which is just so funny to me because I feel like I've always been the kind of person that's like, you know what, I can get really good mascaras from the drugstore. I don't need to, you know, splurge on a mascara. I'd rather splurge on a really nice foundation or something like that. And just this combo. It's just amazing. So two that I have very much enjoyed for 2019. Ooh, actually, 3. Is that okay? Can I add 3? I can add 3. It's my video. One is by Flower Beauty, and this is their Lash Warrior mascara, and it really gives thick, voluminous black lashes like nothing else. It's just like this. I used a ton of this year. Oh, it's so pretty. Probably gonna use that one today. But I also really like the Maybelline The Falsies Lash Lift. This is a very new launch, so I'm including it because it's something that I have been reaching for consistently over the last month and a half or so, and it's really, really nice. It doesn't flake on me. It doesn't give me like raccoon eyes by the end of the day. It lifts the lashes. It gives them nice black volume, all that fun stuff. And yeah, my lashes don't fall by the end of the day. So this one was really nice. And then lastly, I do also want to include the Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. Also really nice. I do need a couple of coats of this one to like really build it up. But Essence mascaras for me, like they've always been ride or die. I find them to be so good and so ridiculously affordable. So yeah, have to throw this one in because it's also real good. So I think I'll start with the Lash Warrior, and then maybe we'll like zhuzh it. We'll add like a couple more layers of like different mascaras. Just like mix it up, you know? A little cocktail. So this right here is just one coat, as in like I haven't re-dipped or anything. Just been kind of like separating and toying with my lashes right now. That is one coat of the Lash Warrior. You see what I mean? Like it's really pretty. Nice fluttery, still thick and full and black, and just like, you know, just I really appreciate a good mascara. I can feel all the mascara that I'm getting on my lids currently. Which makes me feel great. I'm really excited to clean that up. Okay, so mascara is on. I'm going to clean up my eyelids in a minute, but I do want to do my brows because they're bothering me. They're bothering me. And the two brow products that I have been obsessed with this year. Number one is the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade. This one's great. It's that right level of creaminess that's not like thick and gunky in the brows. It doesn't dry out too quickly. They have just a really good formula, and I found this one to work really well. The other one, which was a late start edition, but it's one I keep reaching for. Again, with like the baskets on the side. It's just one I just like keep walking over to get because I'm obsessed with it. And it is by Essence. It is their Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil. This is waterproof, and it just, my brows look amazing when I use this product. It's not too creamy again, but it's not too dry, which I find sometimes with pencils, they get really, really dry fast. This one has not for me. It's super affordable because again, Essence. Like this, I'll talk about it in like the high-end one, but like this one I probably use more than any high-end brow products. So first we're going to brush the brows. I'll brush them up. Oh my gosh, for a second there, I thought I wasn't filming. I've had that happen before too. I've like talked for a full like 20 minutes and then realized I haven't filmed anything. It's terrifying. You know what? I'm gonna soap them. Get up to get the soap because it's high end. I love a soapy brow. It just gives that perfect definition. And I have such unruly brows. I haven't had them done in like a really long time. Mostly because I'm really lazy though. Just like, it's fine. Big, thick, unruly brows are kind of in right now, right? Look at my brows. It looked like a wolf. A wolf had really full brows. Pretty sure they have full brows. Any animal in the animal kingdom is gonna have really good brows. It's gonna be a wolf though. I'm just sort of very lightly fluffing in and filling in. Basically just where I need to make them even, you know, because every brow is a little different. I really want this one to match this one, don't tell it. This one never cooperates. Ugh. So much better. So starting with primer, if it's a drugstore one, I like ones that are more like hydrating and they add that little bit of that little boost of hyaluronic acid. So whether it's like a L'Oreal, like a literal serum, where is it? This one, the Revitalift 1.5% pure hyaluronic acid. I will use this as a primer. Or I like the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer as well. I like how I always pick like multiple products. I'm like, this is my favorite of 3. But we're gonna use the e.l.f. one today. I do really like this one. This is a very good one. My favorite of everything for 2019 is a high-end one, so you'll have to check back for that one, but this one is very, very nice. It feels really soothing and good on the skin, and it smells like watermelon, which like no one's mad at. Adds like a little bit of tackiness, which I like because it means that my foundation is gonna like, I put a little bit under the eyes too. You know, gotta make all of it stick. And now that that is on, let's go on to foundation. This should come as no surprise to anyone. My favorite drugstore foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. Oh, she is full coverage. She is full, like, I haven't tested it for 24 hours, but I have tested it for like a full day, and also in the summertime, and it just holds up so well. Looks like skin. It's amazing. We're gonna apply it with a sponge today. Ooh, I need to wet my sponge. Something I always forget. I'm just gonna pat it all over. I always start by the back of my jaw first and bring the color forward, because otherwise I find that it gets too cakey in the front of the face, which you don't want. Like if you're gonna have any cake on your face, which like obviously you don't want any cake at all, but like I want to start back here and then drag the coverage forward versus the other way around. Now moving on to concealer, I was struggling a lot with concealers this year. I found a lot of them to be too dry, too full coverage. They looked really crepey on me and just didn't set well. So I was really trying to find something that would work really well for me. The one that I have been really enjoying recently, actually a combination of two, but like this one in particular, is the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instant Fix Advanced Concealer. This has done a really good job because it has, again, hyaluronic acid in it. I love AJ so much. It just covers, it brightens, but it doesn't like get really hard and crusty and matte and dry, you know? Sometimes I'll even mix it with a ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Concealer, like the mixture of these two. This one I find to be a little bit heavier, a little bit more full coverage than this one, so kind of the combination works really well for me. But this one in particular has been real nice. Should we combo it? You know what, let's combo it. A little pat on there. It's a little bit of a darker one too, which I find just kind of like balances out how light the CoverGirl one is. Also, tip, I like to do the under eye, like smoke out the under eye a little bit too, so that I don't apply too much concealer like right underneath the lash line, because again, that looks very heavy, looks very cakey, and if I can avoid that, I will. And then to set everything, we're going to use the Physicians Formula Healthy Powder. This is again one that just, it sets everything but not too heavy, so I really like it for that purpose. I have another like OG one that I love that is high end, which I like strongly recommend. It's so blurring and gorgeous. That one is going to come up in another video, but this one, Drugstore, so pretty. It's got a little extra coverage to it, and sometimes I'll even use it to blend out, like to create that nice kind of smoked out effect with eyeshadows. If I find like the line is too heavy, I will use some of this, and I find that that just creates that beautiful, nice like gradient, kind of smokes it out, you know? Sometimes powders just look really heavy under the eyes, but they set everything else really nicely, and then I have to have two different ones. This one I can use all over my face. I'm focusing and concentrating the powder just where I would tend to either get oily or I would tend to crease. So right under the eyes, and then I got the sides of the mouth, the forehead, the chin, that kind of thing. And then I'm just gonna take a nice clean brush and just make sure that the under eye isn't, I don't know, it's just everything's like smoked out nicely, you know? Ooh, I need to add mascara under there too. Whoops. Now my face is feeling very pancake, just very flat. So to add some bronziness, I'm gonna go Ride or Die. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It has been my favorite for like 3 years now, I wanna say. This is like, I might be going on my 3rd year and I don't even care. It's so beautiful. Like this more so than any other high-end, any other product that I've ever used. And yes, there are other bronzers that I do like that I think are really, really great. But this one is one I always go back to. This one, by the way, is the straight up bronzer. There's a lighter one as well as a darker one. This is sort of the original OG one. And it's just, it's perfection. I mean, I could include a different one. There are other ones I like, but this one's the best. This is the best one. This brush, by the way, this is by IT Cosmetics. It is their airbrush, powder, and bronzer brush. I think they discontinued it. IT Cosmetics, can you bring this back? It's so good. It's just stiff enough that I can get like a nice edge here, just to like very lightly sculpt. I don't go too heavy with that, but also it's still really fluffy and dense and like kabuki like, you know? Ugh. She's a beaut. All right, on to the, forgot to use a product. It's fine. I'm just gonna put it on top. It's fine. It's good. It's still gonna work. For blush, there are 2 products that I have been obsessed with. Number 1 is by Flower Beauty. This is their blush balm in the shade Nectar. This gives such a beautiful from within kind of a flush. It is very, very easy to blend out. You can layer it and it just gives this like airbrush kind of blushy effect. And the color is phenomenal. Can't get enough of it. Typically I would put this on while my foundation was still wet, but it has worked for me on top of powder, underneath powder, with powder. And I just pat it in with my fingertips and then I'll put a powder blush on top. It's amazing. Cannot get enough of this. Highly recommend this blush. I have just been obsessed with blush this year. 2019, year of blush for me. And then to go on top, a quad that I've been really loving is the Catrice and Iman blush quad. Ooh, I also really did like the butter blush. This one is rosy pink. It's more of like a cool tone one, so I don't want to use this one today, but for cool tone moments, this one's so good. And now on to highlight. And of course, I have to include one of my big loves of 2019. Probably my biggest love of 2019 in the makeup world, which is of course the collaboration that I created. This is the Layers Highlighting Palette, the RachhLoves palette that I did with Pixie. And this thing, I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Naturally, I mean, I made it. As you can see, this palette has gotten a lot of love from me. It has a nice big mirror in here. This was a custom palette that we created together. It's something that I had drawn and created, envisioned, and then Pixie brought it to life, and I am so excited about it. It is a customizing highlight palette, so you can create a shade that is perfect for you and how blinding you want your highlight to be. You can use it wet or dry. You can use it on your face, your eyes, your body, wherever you want to glow. These are the 2 base shades down here, and then up top we have the customizer, so you can make it a little darker, a little brighter. You can add that pop of lilac, which is gorgeous on the inner corner of the eyes. FYI, if you have not tried that. Oh, they have this beautiful butteriness to them that makes it so smooth and so seamless on the skin. It doesn't emphasize any pores. It just like glides on, and you can use a light touch to it and just add this like little tiny hint of sheen, or you can like really jazz it up and go like full glam with it and just like blind people. But naturally, of course, I'm obsessed with this palette and I'm very proud of it and I'm very excited. And you guys have been sending in so many photos on Instagram of you guys using the palette and getting it for Christmas, and like it honestly, it never gets old seeing you guys use the palette and love the palette and recommend the palette. Just like, it just like it means so much to me. I just did the 2 base shades kind of mixed together to start, just like for a little sheen, you know. And by the way, I named the shades T-clutch, lace, zipper, and knit, all after layering items of clothing. So in the same way you would layer clothing items, you layer up your highlight. I don't know. I had that idea and I had that vision and I was like very excited to bring it to life. And I really like this highlight with like the matte eye. Just that nice juxtaposition, you know? And I don't want frosty skin. I want like glowy skin. I want this to like just look sheeny and dewy and pretty and beautiful and just like, wowza, you know? As she puts like a highlight on her nose. Sometimes I'll even take the tea shade, which is more of this golden undertone shade, and I will pop a little bit like right in the corner, just like off center. I think I learned that from Mario, Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. He said I add like a little spot of glow on one side of the face and it just looks a little bit more natural, and I really like that. I might pop a teeny bit into the inner corner, just like the smallest amount, just to brighten it, you know? And just adding the teeniest hint of the lightest shade. This is lace, and I just want to add it just to the like highest point of the cheekbones, just like the teeniest little amount, and it just makes like the whole glow just like that much more like kapow, you know? Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much. But now onto the lips, and one of my favorite formulas from 2019. This is the L'Oreal, I always forget the name of this product every single time, is their lip ink. And this is the shade I create, but there are a bunch within this line that I absolutely love. And it is that like stained, not even feeling like it's there, blurred, matte kind of a formula. It's very long lasting. It's not that like harsh, aggressive, thick, matte kind of a formula. It just like sinks into your lips and it just creates this beautiful color, and I am obsessed with it. I feel like I have a bunch in my drawers too that I also really love. Where's the Eye Empower one? Oh, it's in my purse. I really need to clean out my purse. I also like this one, so I'll just use this one because it's right here in front of me. They have a red one, which is also really beautiful. And again, nice and long lasting. But I love that I don't feel this on my lips. I love it. Yeah, and such a barely there color. This one in particular is such an everyday shade for me. And then to set everything in the more like affordable budget kind of a category, I do like the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I find that one to be really nice. I also like the Pixi Rose Glow Mist. I've been using that one a lot, not only just to kind of dampen my highlights if I want to really make them pop either on the eyes or as a highlight, or I will just use it to set my skin because I love that more like luminous kind of a vibe, and I find Pixi skincare and skin products are just really, really good quality. So I'll use a little of this one today. It smells nice and gardeny too. So now that we have Drugstore Best of 2019 on the face, stay tuned. Sunday, I will talk about all of my favorites in the high-end category that I think are absolutely worth the price, that I've used all year long, that I love. And also go to RachhLoves Life if you haven't already. New videos there every Saturday. If you like cooking, if you like baking, if you just want to hang out with Chris and I while we yammer on about stuff, test out gadgets. I've done pregnancy gadgets, I've done kitchen gadgets, viral recipes, as well as like we're doing a bunch of renovations on the house. So we just did our basement, which I'm very excited about and I love. A lot of you guys love Chris's office down there, which is also, spoiler alert, like a full-on D&D kind of games room as well, like kind of vibe. It's gorgeous. So go and check that out and subscribe and let me know if you came from this video. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome start to 2020. And I will see you guys all on RachhLoves Life on Saturday and on this channel on Sunday. I love you all. Mwah!